Welcome back to the show, and many thanks for staying with us. Now let's talk about election. Your election headquarters will go live tomorrow with the massive people-centered launch of our coverage of the 2020 elections. The weight of the entire multimedia group will be on display at this launch as we bid to once again lead the way with the most comprehensive and people-centered coverage of our elections. This year, the theme for our coverage is having an informed electorate. And who wouldn't want to have an informed electorate? Head of our political desk, Evans Mensah, and host of the Joy Super Morning Show, Daniel Dazi, joined me in the studio with more on tomorrow's launch. They're going to tell us a bit more about it. It's interesting. I've never had this panel on the show before. I've had Evans. I don't think I've had you before.
No. Only on your election headquarters.
You're right.
Yeah,
You're right.
that he's intruding in our space. We normally share.
Be nice.
You are the intruder here.
Be nice.
Okay.
It's okay.
All right. Let's talk about elections.
You have a big heart.
So, like I said, I am interested to know what will influence your vote. So share that with me on our WhatsApp platform. The number will be on your screen right about now. It is 0540109009. So I'm going to engage these two. You're welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Daniel has not been here before, so let me give him the first word. Daniel, what should we know about our quest to have an informed electorate?
I think it's the most important thing ever for the electors, the people who actually go out and do the voting and select who their leaders will be for the next political regime, to know why they should vote, to understand the issues that inform their vote. Today, there's a myriad of challenges that the average Ghanaian faces. There's also a number of things that he benefits from that he feels comfortable with. Is your next president going to change that? Does your next president plan to improve any of the conditions that directly affect you? A lot of times when manifestos are being drawn, and Evans, you back me up on this, most candidates from opposition parties embark on some sort of tour to sort of understand what is going on. We've seen the listening tour, we've seen the hearing tour. There's always some way that the politician decides to connect. They decide to connect with the electorate to inform the kind of issues that they will place in their manifestos. But the question is, how well is that critiqued by the electorate when they bring it out? And that's our focus here in the election headquarters. We want to understand the issues ourselves, want the people to understand the issues so that they can make an informed decision on December 7th.
Evans, how do we intend to achieve this? Now, having an informed electorate is not an easy thing to achieve, especially in a country where you have literacy levels very low. So how do we intend to achieve this?
So, in fact, it is what has gone into the choice of this particular type of launch. So, starters, the location for the launch tells its own story. We are doing it from the Accra Central Business District in the forecourt of the AMA. That location is obvious. It's where you find it's a melting pot of Ghana. Everybody is there. I mean, the market women, the business. Again, this is the business people district. This is where you find the bread and butter issues that should drive an election. The market women who have issues with children's education, the economy, because the real Ghanaian economy is at Makola, and that's where we're going to be. Kantamanton will be there, Tema Station, that's where the real economy is, not the guys in suit and tie and air condition, because they are the masses. You make that point.
But you still find the guys with suit and tie in
there
this place
as well.
So it represents everybody.
So that goes to the heart of that. So once you have their attention, what do you do to get them to be informed? It's about putting them directly in contact with those who are seeking their vote. In other words, let's hear from the ground what the issues are for them. And let's hear whether those who are seeking your votes have the solutions for those issues. And then by the time you're done, you hope that you would have asked all the questions, and that's what we intend to do, so that the electorate, those masses, those everyday Ghanaians, the people who will be there, would have been informed and left in a position where they can go into the booth on December 7th armed with which idea did I hear over the last several months on any of the multimedia platforms that helped me make a decision as to which of these various political parties and individuals will best provide the solutions that I need to fix my issue.
Right.
And for us, that's all we're going to do this year. And so you'll find tomorrow when we launch and we go into details of the programming, that every program that we have crafted has been crafted with this theme and objective in mind. Right. It has to deliver information, critique of the ideas of the political parties that then will allow the electorate to make a decision, an informed one.
All right. So that's essentially presenting you with the perspectives that helps you, make that decision. Some of you have already sent in some messages. I'll read those messages and get some more reaction from my colleagues here. This one says, good afternoon. What will influence my vote? She says, is the state of the economy and the various manifesto the political parties will be putting across. As a nurse, we're waiting for a clear condition of service for nurses and midwives, and also free health care for health workers. Also, we will urge the government not to disappoint us, the nurses and midwives, about our clearance on the 31st of March 2020 from Lawson in La Paz. So Evans, you hear this lady talk about the economy.
The nurse is talking about something very interesting, peculiar to her, but she represents thousands and thousands of nurses across the country and their dependents, by the way.
Exactly.
Who, as a result of what she said, are affected. And so that person is going to be listening. Which of the parties has a plan to address this for me?
Studies show that for every Ghanaian in the working population, he has about 4 dependents.
Okay.
And so for every 10 nurses, there are 40 people out there who may depend on them.
Right.
And what you're doing, Gifty, now is really the heart of what we mean at the election headquarters. When we say we want to listen to the people, let the people be informed. Let the people also influence the process, because a number of these political parties have not put out their manifestos yet. Some of them have not chosen their candidates yet. The other day we had a nice discussion where we're thinking about the running mate for the former president, John Dramani Mahama. The issues that people brought to fore as what would inform their votes, as what would convince them. These are some of the things that politicians will be listening to.
Right.
That's why we're having this.
And I read this second message, and then I come to you for perhaps a final round of conversation. He says, my name is Martin Owusu Boateng from Kumasi. I will vote for a visionary leader, like John Dramani Mahama. Now, I want you to put these two before you. There are those who are fixed on their choice. They know what they're going for. And then there are those like the nurse who just texted, who's saying that I'll vote based on what you present in your manifesto. Are we targeting only those that are, you describe as your floating voters, or is there a plan to reach people like this guy who says, I am voting for this person, to help them to look at the other perspectives and perhaps make a change?
Everybody else, we are targeting all demographics, all shades of political opinion. There are those like that who are settled in who they will vote for, and they've probably voted for this particular party for the entire lives, right? However, in an election where, yes, let's say your vote is on autopilot, right? You will still need to understand what that person you're going to vote for say he's going to do for you. That will not sway you, but at least you are armed with that information going into an election. So you know John Mahama says he's going to do X, Y, Z for me. The thing about these group of people is they also serve as word of mouth sellers of a candidate. So I believe in John Mahama, vote for him. I've always voted for him. Okay. So in a conversation with his peers who maybe are not on his side, if he knows what your mama will do for him, then he's able then to sort of make the argument. Because I don't think that in today's Ghana, there are a lot of people who will simply say, I'm going to vote for your mama, and I've shut the door to listen to other. They might listen, right? See if you convince them. So even for that group of people, this approach is useful. I mean, you cannot just say, I'm just going to vote for the person because somebody says I should, right? Even if somebody says you should, you must know why you should, okay? So that by the time you enter the booth, yes, somebody said you should, but now at least you know why you're doing it.
Okay.
It makes you a better electorate.
Just makes you a better electorate. Kevin said quickly, none of the 2 major political parties has gotten below 40% in any of the elections in the Fourth Republic. However, we find that whenever a political party is about to lose an election, the strongholds of the party do not turn out to vote as much as they should. So, yes, you may say that some of these people, their minds are cast in stone and they will vote for this political party, but their decision to turn up at the ballot is also a vote. In terms of if they do not show up, then that means that you're not getting as many votes as you want to counter your other political opponents. I'm just saying this to mean that the decision by anyone on any side of the political divide is important, and so that decision must be informed.
Right.
And you find out when these people refuse to go and vote, it's because of a certain mindset they have about their candidates or their party. So that's why we must all be
or certain expectations that have not been met. I'll take your final comments after this. It says, good evening, Gifty. My vote will be influenced by the state of the economy, the level of development in my community, and the payment of my salary arrears. But he says, as it stands now, Mahama qualifies to win my vote. Kwesi from Cape Coast says, I will vote for a leader who will create jobs, practical ones, not theoretical ones. The leader should help Ghana leap in technology, yet to see one though among the current leaders. So it means you won't vote for anyone. And this one says, hi, there are so many issues that will influence my vote. A few of them include free SHS, NAPCO, planting for food and jobs, 1V1D, from Pantia in Philip. I don't know whether you are saying assessment of these will help you vote, or you're saying that you vote because these things have been achieved. Soldier from Achiase constituency says, Eastern region nepotism will influence my vote to vote against Nanado. I've got very interesting comments here, loads of them, and I'm sure that perhaps if we look at it, it will give us an idea what the electorate at the moment are thinking. But I'll take your final comment. I'm going to start with you, Daniel.
Well, I think that first of all, what has started is a big part of what we mean in the election headquarters. Let your voice be heard and be informed yourself. Let's try and understand the issues together, which is why it's very important that beginning tomorrow at the launch, let us all be an active part of this political conversation. Let's be citizens, not spectators.
Right.
So I just want to add that everybody's invited to the launch. Everybody. Okay. I mean, this concerns, even if you've made up your mind, and come in here, come and affirm what you believe in. Come in here, what you know you're already going to vote for. And so everybody, I mean, regardless of your age, well, the age is important because if you don't have a vote,
if you're not 18,
you know.
18,
but even this year, I mean, one show I can say, because we did it in 2016, we have a show called Just Turned 18, which is targeting first-time voters. And so again, if you're just turning 18, please come. So everybody is invited.
But you know, people's votes can be influenced by the people around them.
Yeah.
So you can still have your child who feels like, you know.
You had Parkway Sindum actually campaigning in senior high schools in the last election. Even though you find that only a small percentage of senior high school students.
So we're starting at 5:45, and we're going to go live to the AMA, the forecourt of the AMA. And if you don't know where the AMA office is, if you know Octagon, if you don't know Octagon, you know Kimbu. Kimbu is very popular. Or you know Tema Station. So just that enclave, you find the AMA building. You can't miss it. But if you miss it, just look for the National Theatre.
It's down the street from the
National Theatre. Right there. I mean, the main entrance, well, just on this side on the right side of the Tema Station. It's where we're going to be, right in the heart of the Central Business District, from 5:45 all the way to 10. And just come, we have seats for you. Come and take a seat. But most importantly, come prepared to speak and interact. We're going to have a number of political reps pass through. We're saying pass through because we don't want to make this about them. And so they can come and spend 10 minutes, 15 minutes and leave. And so you can have more say in what we do. So we're inviting everybody to show up tomorrow just get at 6 o'clock. That'll be fantastic.
For those that love to do collectivism, to just, stay at home and do the clicking, how are they incorporated in this?
Hashtag JoyHQ. No, sorry. Hashtag election HQ.
Election HQ.
Hashtag election HQ. So use that hashtag and get in touch. We'll be reading a lot of your messages wherever you are in the world. Hashtag election HQ.
Hashtag election HQ. You get it only here on the JoyNews channel. Evans Mensah, head of our political desk and a host of our Super Morning show. Daniel Dazi joined me for that one.
Oh, sorry, I forgot to add. Adom FM will be doing a simultaneous launch as also. Adom Asempa Insurance from Lekma. From Lekma. While the Joy Joy FM,
Joy FM,
Joy News,
and Love FM.
Okay.
We'll do
Okay.
ours
So that
from-
sounds very checked. I'd like for you to say it in a very smooth manner for me.
So
So
all
go
our
through it
CAN
again.
platforms will be at Lekma. All the CAN platforms
Will
will
be
be
at
at
Lekma.
Lekma. Adum, Asempa, Adum FM, Adum TV, Asempa FM, Insura FM will be at Lekma.
Lekma. Then the English platforms.
Joy FM, Joy News, Love will be at the Accra Central Business District AMA
Which is
forecourt.
the AMA.
Yeah, because it is a multimedia election
Launch.
headquarters.
But at a point, we'll actually be
converging.
converging and doing
Yeah.
the same
I
thing.
mean, we should ask Gifty what the convergence is about. She's the
Well,
host of that.
essentially, we'll be. I'll be in one of my favorite places, the market. Not because there's food, but because because it's a representation of everything. It's actually a representation of us as a country. You get money. You get those who are spending money, you get those who are losing money, you get those who are making money, you get filth, which is one of our biggest problems. You get the people who call the shots in politics. Tell you what, the market women, they play a big role when it comes to politics. Look at the political history. You go through from Kwame Nkrumah, they are there.
Yeah.
So it represents everything. It represents you
So
and
if
me.
you can't come to the AMA forecourt, join Gifty at Cantamanto
Certainly.
from 8:30.
I look forward to
she's
seeing
gonna be
you.
there with the team. It's all part of one launch, though. It's not
Yeah.
one synchronized launch. So join us.
Yeah, and I'll be coming with a bag to shop. Because
In that case, get me something nice.
certainly, I'll get you some very nice ties.
Thank you.
Oh, Kanta, that's his bend down boutique. Man.
Yeah,
So much.
I'll appreciate it.
All right,
He has no
so
idea what you're talking about.
this is your election headquarters.
Another election year, and your leader in election coverage in Ghana, JoyNews' election headquarters launches the big programming for election 2020 with you, our cherished audience, at the forecourt of the AMA building near the Octagon and opposite the Accra City Hotel. Date Thursday, March 12, 2020. Time 6 to 10 a.m. Live on TV, radio, online, and on the ground. Remember to join the Joy 99.7 FM Super Morning Show and the Joy News AM Show teams to share your thoughts and expectations on this year's election. Joy News, your election headquarters.
You're welcome back to the show. This is your election headquarters. You certainly want to make a date with us tomorrow. Get the information that you need. Arm yourself with the information you need to make that choice. Most of you have sent thousands of messages. Unfortunately, I can't read all of them, but if we see the themes that are running through, the economy, your salary, your job, job creation, these are some of the things that will influence your vote. Tomorrow, we'll put it all together and we'll come to you to have that conversation.